Hello fellow teachers, welcome back. In this video we will focus on honing one of the most important skills for any teacher or trainer, and that is politeness. Whatever level you are teaching, being able to use polite language with good manners is essential in your profession. So in this lesson I'm going to give you 10 useful politeness strategies with magical classroom expressions for perfecting this essential skill in the classroom interaction. So ready guys? Let's get started. First, let's see an introduction. Teachers can speak to their class in many different styles and tones. They can be polite or rude, even they can be gentle or mean. Let's see them one by one. First, a rude and a mean teacher has these characteristics. He or she is unkind, unfriendly, hot or bad-tempered, always angry, and often treat his or her students violently. In contrast, a polite and gentle teacher is have got these characteristics. He or she respects her or his students, well-mannered or elegant, kind and friendly, and she or he treats his students or her students as a family. So the best way for any teacher to gain respect from his or her students is by giving them respect when teaching in any interaction at all. If you ask why that politeness is important in our classroom, the language and attitude teachers use when addressing their students will have many impacts. Let's see them one by one. When teachers spoke to their students rudely, it will affect students' learning or motivation in the classroom. Firstly, again, politeness is firstly needed to be implemented because rudeness creates conflict between teacher and the students. That's why most teachers have got or suffer these kind of problems in their school or university. Politeness also used in order to teach our students the way of being polite and redress the conflict in the conversation. So this is why we need to be using polite classroom language. Look this example. It is not a good example. I'm going to say it as if I'm the teacher in that class. Right, students, turn to page 128. You boy, where is your book? Well, get on the desk. Exercise 3. Daniel, question 1. No, you should know that's totally wrong. What the rules that I gave you yesterday? Anyone remember? That's fine. Yes, you are correct. Discuss with your partners now, but don't make too much noise. Be quiet, you. Homework, page 129, exercise 6 and 7. By tomorrow. You see how it feels awkward and painful? So what you need to do is this teacher specifically failed to use polite language and the magical expressions that will help him or help her to be polite in the classroom. The little expression that you can use are thank you, I'm sorry, please. Just let's see them one by one. First, let's just warm up. Let's see some polite requests and responses. As a polite forms of requests and instructions, most of the time, please and thank you are used in any classroom. You can use please before or after the instruction. You can use thank yous after instruction or request. For instance, please close the door and keep it shut with a chair. But there are many other English words, phrases, and expressions that are used to make polite requests and instruction in the classroom. So these are what we are going to cover one by one. So let's come to the 10 forms of polite teacher behavior. These politeness strategies must be studied and clearly implemented by any teacher because they help you to be polite in your classroom when you provide requests as well as instruction in the English language. So the first strategy is using the imperative form. We use the imperative form to give orders or instruction, even sometimes warnings in the device in the classroom. For instance, be quiet, take care, listen to me carefully. However, this may sound rude when you provide direct orders using the imperative form. So you need to soften the imperative form with these words of politeness, let us or please. For example, let's go to an exercise now. Let us go to an exercise now. When we speak, we use the contraction form, so it becomes like this. Let's go to an exercise now. Please listen to what I'm saying. Thank you. Strategy 1 is this. Now let's come to strategy 2. Here it's about using the modal verbs. So we use the modal verbs to turn the instruction into a request because it helps us to change the mode of the sentence. For example, you should help her is more polite than help her, which is a little bit, the tone is a little bit aggressive. The other modal verbs that you can use to make requests are can, could, will, would. So I'm going to give example with all of them. So mostly we use them with the verbs. So I've given you the format which are underlined. Let me just read the examples for you. Can you open the window? Thanks. Try to follow with the right intonation because the tone, the way you say it matters. Could you put the plug for the LCD projector in the socket? Thanks. Will you shut the door, please? I would like you to submit your assignments which are due in today. Strategy 3, using an introductory phrase. Instead of using the imperative, we can use an introductory phrase to soften the order or instruction because it helps us a little bit to sound more polite. These are the common ways of phrasing that you can use for an order. Would you mind possibly stopping talking? For instance, you say, I was hoping you could. Do you think you could? With the V1 you can use. I would like you to. I want you to. Let's see them one by one. I'm going to give you an example. Would you mind possibly cleaning the board for me? The duster is in my bag. I was hoping you could spare me 30 minutes this afternoon for a makeup class. Do you think you could do this photocopying for me? I would like to open your book on page 42. I would like you to open your book on page 42 becomes I would like you to open your book on page 42. So you use the contraction over there. I would, you say, not I would. I'd like you to open your book on page 42. Not you can say I want you to finish this assignment by tomorrow, but to make it more good or soft, you may say I want you to finish this assignment by tomorrow. Yeah, so you can use a contraction. The fourth, using students' names. It's not so easy for teachers like us in Africa with large classes to remember or know students' names, but the expectation is that any teacher must learn and use students' name. And when you do that, try to do it in this way because it helps you to be more polite. Tsaga, can you answer this? Toot, can you clean the board for me? This is another strategy. Number 5 or strategy 5. Never ever use the word you in your classroom. Even if it is impossible to remember the student's name, the whole student's name, we shouldn't just say you. So you can do it in this way. Let me give you first an example. The two following expressions that's written here are considered rude. You, girl, answer this question. Now sit down, you. The solution so is to say like this. Please answer this question. I mean the girl at the back in the corner. Sorry, I forgot your name. What's your name? Oh, thank you. Now sit down, please. You see how this sounds good? Strategy 6, using please. please, I beg you, all teachers, don't forget always using this word first. Now let me give the description. How often do you think we say the word please in our classroom? The rule is always. Add it to the end of a question, use it after a name, put it in the middle of a reply, wherever you need, use it. And let me give you some examples. Now, can you tell me the most important vitamins, please? Daniel, please. Question number 3. Can you please stop talking at the back? Strategy 7, using the word thanks. Thanking your students is important to be polite in your classroom. So there are different expressions. We are going to see them one by one. Thanks, thank you, thanks a lot, thank you very much. Usually thanks or thank you is the response even to an answer which is wrong. So even if it's wrong, you have to thank for his participation or for her participation in the discussion. Thanks for that, but we still needed the complete answer for this blah blah blah. You can add your own points there. Thanks is less formal than thank you. If you want to, you can use, if you want to be more formal, you can use thank you, not thanks. If you want to make our students, our thanks stronger, or to reward a big effort in our classroom, we can say thanks a lot, or you can say more formally, thank you very much. Okay, strategy 8, using words of praise. Teachers use a lot of words of praise in English to the extent that they may sometimes even seem a little bit exaggerated. Good, very good, great, excellent, well done, absolutely right, brilliant, super, awesome. So these are some of words that you can use for praising your students. Let me give you one example. Most teachers make a mistake over here. Very well is only used as an adverb in part of your sentence, so not as an individual exclamation or used as a praise word. So you wouldn't say, great Jamal, very well. But you could say, great Jamal, you did that very well. Strategy 9, avoiding the response no. Do teachers ever say no? No. If the student's contribution is not correct, the teacher probably says or uses these expressions. Not quite. Can anyone add to this answer? You are on the right lines, but good try, but blah 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 blah. You are getting there. Can you improve on that? So these are the expressions that you can use. Number 10 is using polite exits. At the end of a lesson, we should exit with a thank you. Always thank your students for their efforts in your classroom. For instance, thank you for your hard work today. Thank you for that interesting discussion. The rule of thumb I can give you here is, don't forget this always, end your class politely, telling the class how well they have done, thanking them, and perhaps even picking out a couple of individuals for particular praise before dismissing your classroom. Even if the lesson was not successful or you are not satisfied, the student did not make any effort, you even still be positive and look forward for improvements. Look this example. This hasn't been an easy lesson. We need to work hard on it tomorrow. See how it sounds good? So let's conclude what we have discussed today. So in conclusion, not only what you say, but also how you say it is important in achieving polite classroom behavior. What is referring to your language, the expression we have discussed, how is about your tone. So the rule of thumb, always practice using the expressions to achieve the right tone. And let me give you some useful expressions to help you know or just experience the act of politeness in using the expressions. So the 7 expressions or useful instruction are these. Please, intro and sit down. Can you clean the board for me? Thank you. Be quiet now, please, and pay attention. I would like you all of you to check that you have switched off your mobile phones. Could you now take out your textbooks? Here is the attendance sheet. Please write your name, sign it, and then pass it on to the next student. You are late for class. Please explain why. So this will take us to the end. Don't forget this proverb, I love it. The teacher is not a king himself, but he makes kings. Thank you for being with me. If you are new here, don't forget to share, subscribe, and comment on my videos. Until I meet you next time, bye bye for now. Bye.